Hey guys, let's talk about the coordinate plane. It has four quadrants. There's positive and negative sections to it. We have our x-axis, which is the horizontal axis. We have the y-axis, which is the vertical axis. And I'm going to make sure that we know how to plot our points correctly on the coordinate plane and that we know which quadrant is which. Let's take a look. So the first point that we want to find is A, which is at 3, 4. Now, every coordinate point is made up of an x value. The first number is x, so my 3 would be my x. And the second value is always the y coordinate, and the y coordinate is 4. When I look at my coordinate plane, here is the origin, 0, 0. Everything to the right are positive numbers. So positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. To the left of the origin would be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, and so on. On the y-axis, from the origin going up is positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4, and so on. And then underneath the origin, on the y-axis are the negative values, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. So if I'm looking to plot this first point at 3, 4, what that means is from the origin, I go 3 units to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then I go 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 3 on the x-axis and then 4 on the y-axis. And I'm going to label that as point A. Now, the coordinate plane has four quadrants. The way that we can remember the quadrants is actually by making the letter C for coordinate plane. If I make a C that looks like this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3. I'm using Roman numerals. And then this would be quadrant 4. So it goes in order of the letter, making the letter C go from this starting point all the way around in this direction. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means point A is in quadrant 1. Now let's make the next point. B is at 5, negative 7. So that means on the x-axis, I would go out to positive 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the y-axis, I go down to negative 7. So from that point, I would go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, make a point, and that is where point B is. So B is in quadrant, whoops, let me take a look. This is quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. So B is in quadrant 4. C is at 0, negative 5. So 0, negative 5 would mean on the x-axis, I'm at 0. And then on the y-axis, I go down to negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the point of where C is. Now, is C exactly in quadrant 3 or in quadrant 4? No, it's right on the line. So we don't say it's in any quadrant. Instead, we're going to note that it's exactly on the y-axis. So we're going to say it's not in any quadrant, it's just on the y-axis. Next point, D is at negative 9, positive 2. So that means on the x-axis, I would go out to negative 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's at negative 9, and then up to positive 2. That is where point D is. Point D is in quadrant 2. And that's awesome. Over here on the right, point E is at negative 1, negative 2. So I'm going to go down to negative 1 on the x-axis, negative 2 on the y-axis. Okay, so negative 1 on the x-axis and then down negative 2 on the y-axis. This is at negative 1, negative 2. That's point E. I can see that point E is in quadrant 3. Point F is at negative 8, 0. So on the x-axis, I'm going to negative 8, and on the y-axis, I'm going to 0, which means I'm not actually going to go up at all. So from the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0. So this is where negative 8, 0 would be, and this is point F. Is point F in quadrant 2 or in quadrant 3? No, it's on the x-axis. So I wouldn't say it's on any particular in any particular quadrant. I could say no quadrant, or I could say it's on what axis it's on. Point G. G is at 10, 3. So to go to 10, 3, I'm going 10 on the x-axis and then 3 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 3 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3. This is where point G is. G is in the first quadrant. And the last one, H is at -4, +8. So -4 on the x-axis, +8 on the y-axis. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's at x is -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where H is. And I can see that H is in quadrant number 2. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.